We caught him. We caught one of the people partying at John Tory's Florida home. And he saw that we caught him. What's so crazy is they're still doing it, even after our big expose on Tuesday. I can't believe it. On Tuesday, we showed you blockbuster video footage of a weekend-long party at Toronto Mayor John Tory's $10 million North Palm Beach waterfront mansion in an exclusive gated community. What luxury. You know, nearly 100,000 Torontonians have watched that video on YouTube alone. I mean, plus on Facebook and Twitter. Seeing the luxury cars coming and going all weekend at John Tory's Florida Party Palace, while the poors back in Toronto have to stay locked up inside in the cold. Now, John Tory denied it was him down there, but when I asked him in 4 different emails who was partying at his Florida home, he refused to answer. But it's his house. It wasn't a break-in. It wasn't maintenance staff or the cleaners. $100,000 luxury cars kept coming and going. Was it his kids? Was it his friends? And how would that be any better than if it were him himself? Who exactly is he covering for? Well, the story gets crazy. You know, the day after Toronto City Hall voted to extend the lockdown this week, banning restaurants and gyms and stores for months, well, we sent our cameraman down to take another look at the house. I was pretty sure that the party had been shut down. I mean, the jig was up, right? We had found them, right? Surely, out of sheer embarrassment and shame, whoever was down there partying at John Tory's house would quickly pack up and leave. No, I'm not even kidding. They don't care. And I think I know why. You see, not a single other mainstream media outlet in Toronto even asked John Tory a question about his cheating. It's just like Justin Trudeau. He is total obedience from what I call the media party. Even if ordinary working journalists themselves want to ask Tory about it, they're not allowed to. Their editors forbid it. It's pitiful. But it explains why Tory is behaving a little bit like the Roman Emperor Caligula, you know, the one who appointed his horse to the Senate. Because really, who's going to stop him? So we sent our cameraman back, and you've got to see this. So it's a luxury vehicle parked there, one of the ones we've seen coming and going. And then there's a guy who comes out of the house on a lovely bike, and he leaves the house and he starts biking at a lazy pace in this gorgeous, private, high security, gated community. What a lovely day in Florida. You know, you can't go for a bike ride in Toronto. The streets are covered in ice and it's cold. But it was so tranquil in this private community that as our camera followed this lucky vacationer, he must have heard the drone. It sounds a little bit like a buzzing bee. So you can see when he turns his bike around and heads back to the home. And then he sees the drone itself. He stops, he puts down his bike, takes a picture of the drone. I'm not sure what for, but then I think he panics and he puts his hand towel that he's been wearing around his neck, he puts it over his head to hide his face. So what do we make of this? First of all, the contempt for you and me. You and me have to live under lockdowns. Toronto City Council just extended that till the summer, but John Tory and his friends are using his North Palm Beach mansion as a little getaway, and even are revealing this scandal on Tuesday isn't enough to move Caligula to stop doing it. The second thing is, it shows how compliant and submissive the rest of the media is. This is objectively huge news. The scold-in-chief who sends riot police to shut down restaurants that dare to open, he's been caught cheating his own lockdown. And whether it was him down there or someone else he let use his place, whether it's friends or family, it's the same thing. He broke his own rules. He let his $10 million mansion be used.
And sometimes the way you have to have a message reach people is by a severe consequence for their actions. They're showing disrespect for the law, but they're also showing disrespect for all the other people who live in the city of Toronto and for their health and well-being. It is a disgrace, quite frankly, that people would do that.
The third thing is that bicyclist was confused at first, I think, maybe surprised. But then what was his instinct? His first instinct was to snap a picture, to show someone what he was seeing, maybe ask someone what he thought about it. Okay. But very quickly, his next impulse was to hide his identity, to cover his face. Why would you do that, though? Why would you cover your face unless you wanted to hide? And you would want to hide if there was a reason to hide, because you were doing something shameful. So they know that they're doing something shameful, against the rules. It's not shameful to enjoy a $10 million waterfront property in February when it's cold in Toronto. That's not shameful. It's only shameful if you sneaked away from Canada, breaking the mayor's own lockdown to party at the mayor's house. If you're part of the ruling class to which the rules don't apply, that's the shame. If you're a friend or a family of the mayor and you do that, that's what's shameful. And it's shameful that the mayor lets you use his house, lets you sneak there to his own place while he's locking down the rest of us. So today I wrote to John Tory's media flack. I said, we just caught someone else down at John Tory's property. Will you tell us who it is? Is the mayor letting all his friends use his Florida home as a getaway, or is it family? How is this possibly acceptable given his exhortations to Torontonians to stay home? We're rolling out the new footage today. I'd sure like to have a statement from you in it. I find it remarkable that even after our initial report, the mayor is still allowing this brazen conduct. Any thoughts, arguments, rebuttals, please send them over. I want to be fair to the mayor if he has anything to say. Thanks. I haven't heard back yet. I don't think I will, because unlike the man who covered his face, John Tory knows no shame. If you're sick of this lockdown cheater, sign our petition at firetory.com. And while you're there, please consider chipping in to cover the cost of our investigative journalism. It's not cheap hiring reporters to stake out politicians' secret getaways. We have tracked 5 Canadian lockdown cheaters in 3 countries, and we're still hunting them. I won't tell you where we are and where we've been until we catch them, because I don't want to tip them off. I don't want them to be on guard for our people, but we've caught John Tory's friends and family again and again, and we'll keep exposing them. And when we identify who the ashamed bicyclist is, we'll let you know that too. Visit firetory.com. I can't believe it. There's more people using John Tory's waterfront getaway at a luxury gated community in Florida while he imposes a lockdown on the rest of us. Visit firetory.com to see the video, sign our petition, and help cover the cost of our investigative journalism.